Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, Roanoke? We just got Rob plugging in one last cord. We had a little battery forgetfulness, and I got it. Okay. But yep, that's all we're working on. How was y'all's week? I hope it was as good as mine. Mary and I have been fighting the flu and all that happy stuff between last weekend and this week. Hey, Rob's eye.
There we go.
Awesome. All right. So, how was your week?
It was good. Candy. That was about it.
Right.
I mean, we did a lot of candy. Had a bunch of rental things to do this week. Thank goodness. But that's most weeks.
Right.
And then we did candy. Miss Tegan and Selena are preparing to go to Disney.
Nice.
So they leave Sunday for 10 days at Disney for their mom-daughter trip.
Nice.
So
get out of the house for a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to get away.
You got to have that break. And,
yeah.
And that's when I told her, they always do or the last few years they've done a mommy-daughter trip. And it's really good and they get away and all that. But so she came to me a few weeks ago and was like, hey, I'm really stressed, but I need, I said, why don't you just go ahead and schedule out the mommy-daughter trip?
Right.
And I was like, more than 5 days, more than just a few. Because if you're stressed and you're tired and you need a break, if you fly to Florida one day, you hit the parks 2 or 3 days, and then you fly home, you didn't get any rest.
Right.
You were just nonstop going for 5 days.
Right. Yeah. You were just busy somewhere else.
Yeah. And so, but in her head, it's like, oh, no. You need more than just fly down there, hit all the parks and head home.
Right. Well, but I can understand because if Mary told me to get gone for 5-7 days, I'm like, shit, she gonna leave me with the house, the kids, everybody. She's got plans to move her crap out of here.
See, it'd be smarter if she's like, hey, I'm gonna go for 5 days.
Right. That'd be my luck.
Yeah, that's how it works. I have a friend that I guess he's in his 60s now. But he's only been married one time.
Right.
And when his ex-wife decided to leave,
those are rookie numbers.
That's right. But once you hear, you'll realize why. So his ex-wife decided to leave him, so he left for work. Well, when he came home from work, the whole house was empty. She had a moving truck around the corner, and when he left for work, she pulled it up.
Wow.
They loaded it up and moved out. So to this day, and he was back in
she was gone at lunch.
Yeah, and he's in his 60s, so this was back when he was in his 20s.
Right. Man.
To this day, he hasn't been married again, and any girl that he dates, doesn't matter how long they've dated,
right,
when he leaves for work, you got to go too. I get off at 3, and I'll be home by about 3:15. You can come back. Right. But if I leave at 4:30 in the morning, I don't know where you're going to go, but you can't stay here. And he does not allow them to stay.
Parties opens at 5, honey.
Yep. And so he doesn't allow them to stay at his house.
Right. Well, I hear you. That's a burn that sticks with you.
That damages. But my brother had the same thing happen to his last wife.
Oh,
she
really?
took his stuff. Took a bunch of stuff. He walked in and found a Dear John letter and stuff missing.
Oh, wow.
So that's
crazy.
If
you're gonna leave me with the kids, I get the kitchen stuff too.
That's right.
But please don't leave.
I just want the kitchen stuff.
We got.
How about your week? You've had sickness going on forever and ever.
Yeah.
Last week was a little bit better week, right?
It was. It really was. Poor Mary. She does this every time. She's got to be the single best employee ever. She almost. I do not get the whole shebang. Nope. She's got to be the top-notch employee of all time ever. She does not get sick when she is scheduled to work. She might be a hair under the weather here and there, but nope. She waits until vacation time, or she tells her boss, hey, I just need 3 days. I'm going to take 3 days. Yep, she spent 2 of them sick.
Wow.
I mean, as a dog. And then went into the weekend. It didn't get any better. She was okay enough to go back Monday.
Right.
And it's just like, damn, girl, I apologize. I wish you had better luck.
Right. Selena had something little, guess it was Tuesday and yesterday. She felt much better and made it through her whole day of work and everything today. But yeah, she had something little. And Tegan may be coming down with something. Hopefully it's here and gone before Disney, but she has been so cranky.
Oh man!
I mean, and then crying about everything. We lost Harry, our dragon. He passed away.
Oh man!
And he was old, and I was going to take care of it
while they were gone.
Anyway. I mean, we'd already talked about that, but he passed away on his own. And she took it very well. But then yesterday at farm school, she found a dead mouse, and that's you're on a farm.
Just what triggered her?
Yeah, it triggered her. I miss Harry and started crying at farm school, and so that just set her off for the whole evening.
Poor girl. But how much of that also is being a 12-year-old girl?
Right.
Hormones
everywhere.
Oh yeah. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on with that poor girl that you can tell her all about it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't prepare a 12-year-old girl for what happens.
Not at all. Mary said, you get the whole shebang. She said she's just going to take that stolen car at the bottom of the driveway. She's like, I ain't even taking the vehicles. I'm going to take a stolen car at the bottom of the driveway.
She's going to wait for the neighbor to steal something else and be gone. Because that's what you get in our neighborhood.
So we are episode 33 tonight.
Nice.
And we're talking about a lot of different things. Talking about Lynchburg back in the news again with some shooting.
Nice. Well, at least it took us out of the out of the spotlight for a week. It was time.
And then we'll be talking about the Blue Ridge Parkway. I didn't realize 16 million people hit that stretch of Blue Ridge.
Yeah, neither did I. Well, and I don't know that it was that stretch, but it was between the 340 miles.
Right.
That it had that many.
That's a lot. So stick with us. We're just
going
to talk about Roanoke tonight and Lynchburg and the surrounding areas.
That's right.
So we'll begin two young individuals, Anton Wilson and Delquan Terry.
Yep.
20 and
19 years old.
Got charged for shooting firearms in a local home.
Yep. They're shooting into an occupied dwelling.
It was like 5 or 6 different charges that they got because of that.
Yeah. Well, because the way our books are written, use of a firearm in a felony is its own felony.
Right.
So.
And then same type of news. Harrisburg juvenile faces charges in a shooting death of a 14-year-old.
And that one hurts me a little harder. They all hurt me, but that one just hurts me a little harder. There's a mom or a dad out there.
Some young person lost their life.
Without a doubt. Well, and excuse me.
We didn't even have any Big Days Munchies.
I know. What in the world? But then in the same area, Lynchburg student, I believe out of Heritage High, was transferred to Roanoke Memorial because they had gone to Lynchburg Hospital. There was a name. It wasn't Lynchburg.
Right.
But I forget the name of the hospital they originally went to. But yeah, the injuries were so severe they had to fly them out here to Roanoke Memorial. Over a school fight.
And then 17-year-old Howard Willis, he was taken into custody because he's
71.
71. Did I say 17?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's dyslexia for you.
Well, you don't put high school fight and 71-year-old together.
But he discharged his firearm during the fight, so probably to break it up.
Right.
That was the thing he could think of. Yeah. Not the smartest thing.
But I was thinking he had actually hit somebody.
He may have. I don't know. I just read the discharging of the firearm in the fight. So who knows?
Yeah. But like he was saying a couple minutes ago, we have had 16 plus million guests on the Blue Ridge Parkway this year, which is up. I think it's at 6%.
Mm-hmm.
A little over a million more visitors this year than last year.
That's because they opened up that stretch.
Exactly. They finally opened up.
You
that
don't have to go
corner.
all the way around. I had to go to Floyd today, and I almost drove that, and I was like, I don't have time. I need to be over there. Because if I take the Parkway, it pops me out over at Clearbrook. Where if I just come down 221, it pops me out near my house.
Right.
So I really did need to go to Walmart, but I also knew that I had to get home because Emmy had to go to work and Tegan was home. So.
Well, and that is on the other side of Clearbrook.
Right.
So no sense in all that. There
was a fatality over there. A pedestrian was hit in the last day or so.
Oh, really?
By a tractor trailer.
Oh, wow.
Over by the Clearbrook Walmart.
Okay, yeah. I think I saw that.
Yeah. Truck driver wasn't charged with anything. They do think that drugs and alcohol were involved with the pedestrian.
Yeah.
So that's not air news, so I just kind of threw it up in there.
Right.
Virginia continues to attract residents from across the country. I don't know if it's because we have Governor, Youngkin in there, being Republican, or what it is, but
I think a whole lot of it is the states that are named in the top 5
have lost their minds, most of them.
Well, yeah, I wanted to make sure that because I knew Tennessee is in the top 10, I didn't think it was in the top 5. A whole lot of these outside of Florida, I think the taxes have just driven everybody out.
Mm-hmm.
And Florida is just probably too damn many tourists.
Well, you got New York. New York and California are probably being driven out by their policies currently.
The policies and the tax.
Yeah, taxes, policies. New York just passed the rule to where if you're driving, they're doing surge pricing for tolls and stuff.
Yeah.
So they just announced that, and then you've got
different
California.
Times or different prices.
Yeah, then you got parts of California where they've just lost their minds.
Right.
I watched the thing to get into California driving. They go through your car now to see if you're bringing in anything that could affect California.
Oh, really?
I watched a TikTok with it. And the guy's like, "You're not going to look at my car." And he's like, "Well, you're not going into California."
Okay. Well, you're make a Yui.
Yeah. There's nothing in California that I need to fight to get. My mother-in-law lives there, but she's able to get out on her own.
Well, and I mean, I don't know all of them. I don't even know most of them, but I know enough. I have known enough truckers. I hope they grow everything in California.
Right.
Because you're going to have a hard time getting truckers in there if you're going to search their crap at the border.
Yep, and it's starting to get that way with New York, too. So it's New York, and this is top 5 down. New York, California, North Carolina, Florida, and Maryland.
Right.
And so, yeah. And then.
And I think Florida, because I just wonder why you would move here from Florida. Now we don't have the Gators.
Right. Maybe it's too hot and humid there.
It could be getting a little warm down there, Excuse me.
Some people, and I have some Florida people that I've sold houses, and they like the 4 seasons.
Right.
That's a big, and it's a little slower pace here, I think.
Yeah, the 2 people I've helped out of Florida, oh my Lord, one of them, I wish they had just stayed. they were good people, but they just
I may know the people you're talking about.
17 dogs and but now despite an 80% reduction in insurance fraud, according to the Virginia State Police, the issue persists with over $1 million in fraud reported this year or last year.
How do you get 80%? How do you work that in? 80% less fraud, insurance fraud. How does?
Well, because it breaks down into homeowners and auto and all that
so
stuff.
I wonder what point. Okay, was it 75% home insurance fraud, or did they base it all?
I didn't see them break it down like that.
Right,
but
to me that's significant.
Well, I know a lot of y'all come in later on in the week and watch this on replay. So I would really, really like y'all to come in whenever y'all do watch it and put down in the comments somewhere how in the world did we have an 80% drop in fraud cases? Did your insurance go up this year?
Yeah, my insurance went up.
Yeah, ours went way
ours
up.
did too. We're like our car and house is over $4,000 a year now.
You know,
And we don't have fancy cars or sports cars.
It was just nuts. You know, because I mean, the homeowner should be covered in the mortgage for now,
right?
You know, but I mean, auto we were paying $240, and then it jumped up to $260, and I just figured maybe I had messed something up, but I checked. The one that came out yesterday is $300 a month now. And it was just like, well, what? Hold that thought. Time out. How do we go up $60 in a year and a half?
Right.
And you're telling me it's 80% less.
And no claims. And the problem is if you go in and you play, all the thousands of dollars we give these insurance companies. If I go in and say, do a claim on, say, my roof, they're going to fix my roof, which is going to be about $6,000,
right.
$6,000 to $10,000. And then they're going to drop me.
Right.
Because I did a claim.
Yeah.
So why do we have to have insurance, and what good are they?
Right.
I mean, I was talking to somebody about health insurance. There are people that are flying to countries like Turkey and Colombia and places like that to get dental work and to get other different types of surgeries, even cosmetic surgeries.
Right.
And it's like 80% cheaper to go to like fly from here to Turkey, get a car, stay in a hotel, your food for a week or 2 weeks or however long you need to recuperate,
right,
and then fly home. It was like $5,500, where the surgery that the person was getting was like $28,000.
The copay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and something else that I've always found odd. Mary made a couple trips down to Honduras. You can have a sore throat, or you're just going, yeah, I know this is a sinus infection. I need some antibiotics.
Right.
Yep. The person she was down there to see, spend some time with. Yep. They just walked into the drugstore, said, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a sinus infection. I need some penicillin. Okay.
Right. There you go.
$2. What?
Right.
I don't need a script. Cool.
And it's the prescription part is just a control by the government or whatever. But the other part of that is, and we've talked about this on this show, is that one of the Congress people asked one of the pharmaceutical companies why the medicine was like $2,000 here in America and $7 in Australia.
Right.
And he said, because America allows us to hold the patents on it.
Right.
That's why it's $2,000 instead of $7,000.
Well,
other countries don't allow it.
Well, that and the fact that, the dirty little secret nobody talks about, if you want to get something through the FDA, it takes 10 years and $7 million.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it's crazy. Mr. Gus, the
lunatic
from Arno, has joined us.
Nice.
Hello, Mr. Gus.
What's going on? But, yep. So the community reacted to the decision to close 2 Franklin County elementary schools, Henry Elementary and Burnt Chimney, before the next school year.
I know that they need to combine schools for money and things like that. But I feel that, and I don't live in Franklin County, so
right.
I just know that they have bus routes, and I feel that the elementary schools that they have are geographically located closer to the areas that people live.
Right.
And so instead of a 15-20 minute bus ride, how much is it going to increase the children's bus ride? I remember as a child, I lived in Troutville, and I had like a little over an hour bus ride every day.
Each way?
Yeah, each way. So I'm 2 hours on a bus
right.
in elementary school. That's a lot.
Right.
That's a lot to ask for their attention to be there.
Teaches you patience.
Yeah. Teaches you patience, but they have no patience.
Oh, right.
And so how many of them are going to have to go to the bathroom?
Oh, yeah.
You run into a lot of other issues, but I feel that Franklin County being one of the largest, if not the largest county in Virginia,
right.
I feel that those schools are closer to the areas that they service.
Right.
And so there's got to be a different way to keep those schools open and
right. Right.
So, but that's my personal opinion on that. Roanoke. This was. I knew it was coming.
Right.
TGI Fridays in Roanoke, just in case you don't know, they closed this week.
Yep.
Over the past several months, they've had a couple shootings there.
Right.
They've had some other fights, and honestly, when I ride by during the daytime, typically there's nobody even in the parking lots.
Right.
So I like their food, but it's still,
Yeah. I've probably been there twice the whole time I've lived here. Now their prices aren't silly and their food isn't bad.
Right.
It's
a fun Chili's, fun Applebee's,
that's
or whatever.
Right. That's right.
It's
American Applebee's.
All those, yeah.
So Salem Police Chief Michael Crawley announces his retirement after nearly 25 years, marking the end of an era and the beginning of a new chapter for Salem's Police Department.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you
Crawley.
very much, Chief.
City Treasurer Evelyn Powers has decided to retire also. I think she was 20. No, she was in her 30s. Hold on, I'm going to look that up because I had it in my notes and now it's gone.
All right, well, now we got to ask. With that many coming up, now we got to ask. Mayor Lee in Roanoke City, police chief in Suffolk.
43 years.
Oh, wow.
43 years. I knew it was a lot more than 20, but it was 43 years. She was city treasurer.
Wow. And she's had now. What do they know that we don't?
I don't know. Maybe they just.
I mean, I know they're not getting any younger, but still, everybody that's been there a little while, everybody's getting out.
Her stepson is manager at McAdoo's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's all I got to say about that. Roanoke County aims to address, and I had to look this one up because I really didn't know the name of the road, but I knew where it was. They're going to address the Dow Hollow intersection. Okay. That seems to be in the Roanoke County are one of the highest places for wrecks.
Okay.
And it's down there. It's the Dixie Caverns exit.
Okay.
So as you come off Dixie Caverns and you got 460 there.
Right.
Those, especially when interstates close because of a wreck,
right,
they have a lot more wrecks. And it's because I think that intersection is so long,
right,
that it would be better off if they just go ahead and put stop lights there instead of the stop signs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that intersection is so big that
right,
to try to scoot across there, and if you're not paying attention, then you're going to get in a wreck.
Right. And I mean, the people coming out of that neighborhood, right over to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they don't even think there's ever going to be a car there.
Right.
If you drive by. So we have charges against a Roanoke man accused of making school threats have been dismissed.
They didn't do it. Yeah. I don't know. They may have just messed the dude's life up.
Right.
Because if I Google you now, I'm going to see that.
Right.
And if I'm just reading headlines, then I may move on past.
Yeah. Well, and it's one of those things. I mean, a lot of people have said it in the past. We got. I hope that somebody comes out and goes, "Hey, we made a mistake. Don't hold it against the man. Expunge whatever." Da 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 da. I mean, not that he was convicted of anything, so there's nothing to expunge.
Right.
Poor verbiage. But those that took away his character need to replenish it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Now the 15-year-old is still in custody. They have his phone records and everything like that.
Right.
So hopefully that's the end of this. Hopefully they're not copycats, or hopefully that was the person and it's over with.
Right. Hopefully they were just trying to get out of it.
I know that the community has come out and didn't like the way it was handled, but I don't know any other way they could have handled it.
Right.
I mean, you can't close schools forever.
Right.
It's a weird world we're in.
It is. And, there are some people that are going to complain no matter what you do.
Lux wants me to model my shirt.
Oh, I think you should.
I'm going to go off camera.
Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
That's right.
Wow, wow. Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
There you go, Mr. Lux. So, Mayor, Lynchburg's coming out now.
Nice.
Yeah, Lynchburg
Eyes
Mayor.
off us,
No,
yes.
they did not come
Way to
out
go,
and do
Lynchburg.
they didn't do a victory in Lynchburg though.
All right.
But he's come out and asked for help with the violence and different things like that in
Right.
Lynchburg. And I think all of these mayors, and I think Roanoke's trying to do a better job.
Yeah.
I mean, there's miles to go, but you also either here, Lynchburg, any community, you have to have the community willing to make those changes too.
Right.
You can't have an area that's just bad and then nobody wants to help it. You know,
Right.
if I see somebody shoot somebody, you don't want to tell, but you got to tell.
Right.
Because
exactly.
or stop it. Because if you're not going to participate in your community, nothing's ever going to change.
Right. Right.
And
And if
that's
you're
the
not
problem.
part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that until people step up and go, hey, we're not going to have this in our neighborhood.
Right.
It's going to continue to happen.
Exactly.
And I think as soon as parents step up, and it goes back to parents, as soon as they step up and be like, hey, we're not going to act like that in public.
Right.
And start taking accountability for their children.
Right.
You know, I know mine weren't perfect, and I never went in going, hey, I know my kid didn't do this.
Right.
Type thing. And so many parents have gotten to that point. Well, Johnny, I know Johnny did.
Right.
Guess what? I got him on video doing.
Right.
It's right here. Is that him?
Explain to me who that is.
I don't think he meant to do it. He put it in his pocket.
Right.
But that's even just, there's no accountability for people now, and there are no consequences for actions anymore.
Well, you know, it's that whole pendulum thing. You know, I'm not exactly sure how it ran real well with our kids coming up, but I can tell you it's totally different between when we grew up and my grandkids going to school. You know, there are a lot of parents that'll go in, oh no, not my kid.
Right.
Or what did you do to provoke him?
Right.
Are you kidding? If I did anything wrong in school, I tried not to go home.
Right.
You know, there was going to be no my mom or my daddy going into the school going, well, hey, what do you say? Nope. My butt was going to be red. I wasn't going to see anybody for a month. You know.
Look, says they need to allow the belt.
Yep.
I don't think the school should allow the belt, but I do believe parents should be.
Right.
There should be more consequences. I know that, you know, I don't know that they should get beat as bad, you know,
Right.
as some of us did back in the 70s. And 80s.
Right.
But I
Right.
do think that it's with smack on the butt and things like that.
Yeah.
It does jar them to where, oh, yep, that's not right. Because if you look at other animal species, you look at wolves. When a cub acts up, what's he get? Gets a little nibble.
Right.
You know, monkey, he gets slapped or
Right.
whatever monkeys do, you know. And so
Well,
the other animals, they discipline their species.
Right.
If it's not right, they tell. If you're in an area you're not supposed to be, they're going to tell you. You're in an
Right.
area you're not supposed to be in.
Right.
And that sometimes helps.
And I mean, learn a little something from the 70s parents. Everybody talks about the belt and the spanking and all that. You know, I did get spanked with just about everything in the house. That being said, you know what's actually a little more effective? A pop in the back of the head. You know,
Could be. I know
A, doesn't leave a mark.
Right.
You know, it'll get your attention. Stop it. That's not how we
See, I
do
just
it
have
here.
the voice.
You know?
Usually I don't have to do it. I'm just voice.
Right.
It goes, Lux also said that parents probably need to get arrested. I'm 100% with you.
Yep.
If they start holding parents accountable, and little Johnny's not, then
Well, maybe not first or second offense, but if it becomes a recurring thing, yep, yeah, you're not doing your job. You go, you go over here.
and he said also that that he the kids tell you nowadays just go ahead and call the police.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You're done.
So something not as local, but very important to the area. They have finally selected a jury for the nature park zoo up in Natural Bridge.
and they had just completed 3 days of testimony from veterinarians.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Talking about, I think they've lost 2 more animals. I know one of them was a blue-tongued skink.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of those animals, they don't do well when you move them anyway.
Right.
And especially if they've been in there, kept in their
They're like red form
environment. Yeah, in their environment for years and years. When you move them, so you not only moved them from where they were at, you've turned around and moved them from that moving vehicle. Yeah, now you've moved them to a moving vehicle, then to wherever they're at now. So,
right.
You're initially 2 to 3 moves on them, and
yeah,
most of them don't handle very well.
Yeah, because I'm not exactly sure where they moved them to, but I think I remember hearing something about 3 hours away.
Angels of Assisi has some. There's several different organizations that have them. Gotcha. So hopefully, and then this is funny. This came up and it's kind of weird too. But the CDC's come out and warned there's a potential for a potential shortage for tetanus shots.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
So CDC's come out and said that. And it's so funny. We were over at one of Tegan's friends this week. I was helping them move a chicken coop that needed more than a couple people. And so as we're moving, the little boy smashed his finger with a nail. All of a sudden, he's like into hammering things.
Right.
So he's got this piece of board that he just hammers nails into. And but he hit his thumb with the nail. And the mom's like, "Did you puncture?" He's like, "Yeah, it's bleeding a little bit." And she's like, "What did the nail look like? Was it rusty?" He's like, "No, it was a new nail." She's like, "You're good." Right. So we got to start asking.
Unfortunately, I can't get in there and do the floor work in Layla's room because there's a shortage of tetanus shots out there. And you've seen Layla's room. I don't know that I can get in there without a tetanus shot.
Maybe other shots too. Who knows?
Right.
A lot of different people hiring this week.
The post office actually had a job fair this afternoon, late morning, early afternoon.
And they're looking for fill-ins. Hopefully they'll fill in for mine because my mailman sucks.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know it was Roanoke City, a couple Roanoke County, and I think a Franklin.
Something. A little bit says she's going to do the floors because she's up on her tetanus shot.
Okay.
Sorry, I ad-libbed a little bit.
Right. I don't want her having to put that thing in.
Oh no, floor. Chris will do floor for you.
All right.
I even have a picture of him dancing after he finished the floor at the 3rd shop that he did.
Right.
So
okay.
Teacher assistant at Roanoke Valley Children's Academy is hiring.
Okay.
Best Buy is hiring.
Nice. FedEx Ground.
Walmart, and then I put this one in here because I'm a 5-year-old little boy.
Right.
And Bimbo Bakeries.
That's right.
Is hiring, and they do Arnold's breads.
Okay.
And then I think Thomas English muffins and stuff there.
Okay.
But yeah, so Bimbo's Bakeries, and they're hiring at like $19.75 an hour.
Nice.
So if you're looking for a job,
right
there it is.
Now, the girl I knew that worked there, we were trying to get her into a rental. I know she was working like 12, 14-hour days, or claiming it anyway.
So who knows? But they're actually hiring. A lot of different little things going on this weekend. But I want to give out before we do that. Sports Bites. Did a review on Big Daddy's Munchies this week and
yesterday.
Yeah, if you haven't watched them, they're a local podcast that talks about sports and snacks. And they have, and we're probably going to have to vote and try to get one of those here, but they have a snack master, or what they call a snack.
Oh gosh,
director of snacks.
Director of snacks.
Yeah, director of snacks. So we probably need a director of snacks.
Ask Jonathan what he's doing next week. He may need to bring us snacks.
That's right. So, but it's called Sports Bites, and they are every Wednesday is when they air their podcast.
Okay.
Wednesday nights at 6, I believe.
Okay.
So you can catch up before
you
go to church.
They seem like they were having a blast.
Oh yeah. And they talk about everything sports related. We don't talk too much about that here. We just try to keep it local.
Right.
We probably do need to talk about local sports stars a little more.
Oh, absolutely. I know the Dogs captain was hurt or still is.
Oh, was he? And I know that Salem had a runner qualified, I think, second.
Oh, nice.
in
Okay.
nationals or something.
Right.
Gentlemen. So maybe we need to keep up on that. But actually, I mean, if you guys have
A story you
ideas or
Yeah.
stories or a place you want us to go check out, let us know.
Right.
We're always looking for ideas to grow our podcast. Share it with your friends. If you haven't liked us, like it. And then Lux is talking about he got in touch with some Virginia coaches, Virginia Tech.
Okay.
He said there's a sport.
Did you have any luck with the Vic kid?
Brooklyn Vic.
Yeah.
He said to Google Brooklyn Vic.
Okay.
So
any relation to Michael and Marcus?
This is when he was 9.
Because for all the bad publicity he got, all the stuff I heard about him back home, outside of him asking the cop if he knew who he was when he got a speeding ticket shortly after signing his first Falcons contract. Every other story I've heard about Michael Vick as a person, great guy, salt of the earth. Marcus, not so much.
I think Marcus tried to use his brother's fame until he had his own. And then, I agree.
Well, Marcus also had the legs. He did not have the arm.
Right.
Neither one of them could hit the broadside of a barn. But, but Michael could throw it from here to the bridge.
Yep. He said they called this the Brooklyn Vic guy a phenomenon at 9.
Oh, wow.
So I know a couple of those at the Baptist home. Best athletes I'd ever seen in my life.
Right.
And didn't go anywhere. Just chose different paths in life. What's your plans this week? You got plans this weekend?
Well, I got a floor to put in
Besides trying to stay dry.
Trying to stay
season
dry.
in Virginia.
See if Mary and I can't get a dinner in together, just the two of us. And the kids keep singing, just the two of us. So
you keep them in the car with the windows cracked.
Right. Right.
So we say that on air. What happens is the police start watching your car, and then you have to worry about a babysitter.
Hold on, man. I have paid the registration, but the sticker hadn't come in, officer. I have paid the registration. The stickers will be on the tag this weekend, hopefully.
Yeah, things like that kill me. I watched speaking of babysitters, I watched a TikTok, and then this guy was picking this girl up for their first date, and she opens the door and she goes, "Hey, I'm glad you're here. Hey, I need $250 for the babysitter." And he's like, "What?" And she goes, "Yeah, I need $250 to go pay the babysitter." And he's like, "Yeah, no, you should have planned that before." And she's like, "What do you mean you're not gonna pay for my baby?" So here's a question: who's wrong? Would you? I'm absolutely not giving you $250 for a babysitter.
No.
First off, you need a new babysitter if she's charging you $250 to watch your kids or what the hell's wrong with your kids that they're going to charge $250 for a few hour dinner.
Well, and I mean, that's something you got to put together if you decided to go on the date. I asked you out.
How about, and I've watched this trend, how about when you, and neither one of us are out dating people. I said neither one of us out dating anybody.
Right.
And but anyway, when I was dating, this one tried to order food for her kids that were home and have the man pay for it too on their first date. Nope.
And actually,
and like steaks, not even like kids' meals.
It may not have been my first thought, but surely before I got my butt in the car, you send the babysitter home. Kid can come eat with us. If it's 3, maybe not, but 1 or 2, hell, bring them out. I bet they eat too.
It was more than 1 or 2.
Because I mean, if you're looking to get serious, you're gonna take these kids on. May as well eat with them.
Yeah, but on the first date, I'm good. I'm good.
It also depends on the age.
So I'm good. But I ain't gonna worry about that. I ain't out dating nobody.
Right.
And if I was, I wouldn't be having kids.
Right.
No. I'm an old man.
Between the two of us, we got 83. So we're just gonna let them handle their own stuff.
So we got a lot of events this weekend. Not as many as when spring's here, but it's getting there.
But I mean, here in about 3-4 weeks, This thing's going to be loaded.
Oh, 2 weeks.
This list is going to be loaded.
Yeah, in 2 weeks. So we have on the 16th we have the parade for St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
And that opens up most of the farmers markets and stuff like that. That's the first weekend of the farmers market downtown.
Okay.
And so that opens up a lot of.
Crap, I don't have anything in the ground.
Yeah, me either. But I don't put my tomatoes and stuff out until Mother's Day weekend anyway.
Okay.
So we've still got some time.
I think I remember hearing.
It's time for
somebody say,
lettuces
you
and
don't,
stuff.
You don't really put stuff out till like, is it April 10th, March 10th?
You could do lettuces if you take a gallon jug or something and put it over your lettuce seeds.
Okay.
And it's just it creates a little greenhouse. So now is a great time for lettuces, radishes, things like that. And you just put the little thing over until it's like going to be a nice day or something.
Right.
And then over it with frost. Anytime it's going to be, below a certain. But no, you can absolutely. Lettuces are great. Spinach, bok choy, any type of lettuce.
Okay.
Type thing. Carrots, beets, radishes, all those.
Gotcha. If I put beets in my garden now, I will get the whole kit and caboodle.
She don't like beets.
But speaking of things to do this weekend, who here is a Clint Black fan? I never did get into Clint. It doesn't mean it's bad music. He just wasn't my shade of country
right
at the time. Got the Roanoke Arts Pop at the Taubman Museum.
Then we got Grandin Theater. Grandin Theater has been rocking some good movies lately. I mean, got to give it up to the Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah, I mean, because every one of us had a little crush on Phoebe Cates.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now
I'm going to let you know that one of my all-time favorite movies out of that little whole genre is Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah. So if they start playing, I'm there for Revenge of the Nerds. That's one of my favorite movies. Joe Bonamassa is playing at the Berglund Center. I don't even know who that is or what it is.
Amazing guitarist. But,
is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, if he's playing against our buddy, international
superstar Seth Custard,
Seth Custard, I don't know. I think I'd go see Seth.
Luck says he loves Fast Times at Ridgemont
High. Got the Rail Yard Dogs playing tomorrow and Saturday night, I believe.
Yep. Tomorrow's baseball night. Saturday, do they have a?
Is it Dogs on Ice?
Yes, it is.
Yep. I think it's Dogs on Ice.
Oh, it's like a wiener dog thing.
Yeah, wiener dog.
Yeah, wiener dog thing. Maybe my daughters will be down there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they got the Roanoke Food and Culture Tour at the Hotel Roanoke.
Okay.
This weekend.
Monster Truck Nitro Tour at Salem Civic Center. Seems like Salem Civic Center always gets the monster trucks.
Right.
And the rodeos.
I may have to see what the other house has planned for the boy this weekend. And if it's not the monster trucks, I may have to go grab it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then on at the Berglund Center, Broadway and Roanoke, Johnny Cash, the official concert experience. I like Johnny Cash.
Yes, I miss Johnny.
I think it's super awesome that a lot of times I'll listen to like different punk music or things like that, and so it'll it'll Misfits and Social Distortion, and then it'll play some Sex Pistols. Then all of a sudden, here comes Johnny Cash, and I'm like, woo!
I forget. I think it was 9 Inch Nails. Trent Reznor. Yeah, he had written and recorded "Hurt," and then when Johnny Cash sang it, he actually came out and went, "I'll never perform that in concert again." That is Johnny's song.
Now, Lux wants to know if there are drive-ins here. That's a great question. There used to be one on Shenandoah.
Right.
That's been long gone. There's a drive-in in Christiansburg still. I think it's Hales drive-in, but there's definitely a drive-in in Christiansburg, and then I think Lexington.
Okay. I haven't heard of that one.
I think Lexington has either Lexington or Stanton has the next closest drive-in.
Gotcha.
But I know that there's one in Christiansburg, and a lot of people go to that one.
Okay.
So, Hopefully that answers your question. He knew about that one. No other pop-up.
Not that we're aware of. We'll definitely check, and if they do, maybe we'll have to go catch a movie.
Let's see. We'd go there, go by there. Oh, he said he'd go by there when they had nude scenes on the Shenandoah one. Is that the one you're talking about, Lux? Shenandoah, even as a teenager, I remember going to that one, and probably mid to late 80s, I think it closed.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah, there were like 4 in the immediate area where we grew up in Tidewater.
I think with gangs and just dumbasses not knowing how to act in public,
right?
I don't know that a drive-through would succeed in Roanoke.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, just not. Yeah, I don't think it would do very well.
Nah.
So this week, you have anything planned?
I have floors put in. I'm getting my first 2 or 3 windows for the greenhouse. Hell, even getting them delivered.
Oh, nice.
That is a damn fine son-in-law right there.
That's right.
But other than that, I can't come up with anything. We're really focusing on getting a couple things done to the house and kind of planning and plotting, because our 10th year anniversary is in June. So
Okay.
I got some plans and things to take care of there. And my birthday present from the daughter and son-in-law was a train ride out of Stanton.
Okay.
So just trying to figure out what we want to do in Stanton here in a month.
Nice.
All that, trying to plan
That's
that
pretty
out.
awesome.
Oh, I'm very, very blessed.
Mine is my weekend is just getting my family ready to go to Disney.
Get out of get out of the house.
Get out of the house, and then next week I'll have a long list of things I've done, because usually when they're not in the house, I can just focus on stuff.
Right. Right.
So in this next week, I hope to get a ton of stuff done.
Right.
Hopefully actually I'm almost there. Our application finally to the state for our commercial license. I just keep adding stuff, and so I'm like, oh yeah, now I got to add this and that. It's not done.
Well, it's like we were talking earlier. You have a plan. You decide to get a freeze dryer for the veggies in the kitchen, which has now started a freeze-dried candy company that is getting reviewed on other podcasts and is the official freeze-dried candy at Dr. Pepper Park. It's just, he'll sleep here in a couple of years.
Yeah.
he'll have
and
time
that's actually, I've got my alarm. It's going to set for every 4 hours for our candy machine.
Right.
While they're gone. That way I can pump up inventory, because when they get back on the 12th or 13th. The 16th, we start our season.
Right. Okay.
And so we'll be if we're not at the farmer's market, we're at some other event.
Right.
And there are times that we're going to be farmer's market and then rolling right over to the Dr. Pepper Park.
Right.
And there are a couple nights where we're to Dr. Pepper Park, going to the farmer's market, and then back to the Dr. Pepper Park.
Wow.
So we got to have the inventory, because just at a farmer's market, we're selling anywhere between 100 to 150 bags of candy.
Right. And no, it's not a big one. It's about 20 by 25 feet. So it's going to require a lot more windows, but as far as greenhouses go, it's not that big.
Just enough. You only need about 8 by 6 or 8 by 8.
Right. Right.
Greenhouse. You just want to get your stuff started. And I watched some of the ladies. She did her cucumbers and everything this winter in the greenhouse.
Oh, really?
And did well.
Well, and I'm hoping that's what it turns into, is a year-round garden. If I want fresh tomatoes in November, I want to be able to go in the back
and get out tomatoes. Absolutely. And I want to go back to this, Lux, because you said that there were pop-ups happening with the drive-ins. We do have some, like Salem is doing some, Roanoke City's doing some, where they're renting out the big screens, and so they're doing movies in the park, or movies downtown on the market and things like that. So they are doing pop-ups like that. But as far as a drive-in, there's not a drive-in besides the one in Christiansburg. And Lexington, but they are doing some pop-ups, and there hasn't been any kind of craziness or violence with those.
Right.
And they're usually playing kids movies too. They're not playing Porky's or anything like that at Longwood Park.
Yeah.
And thank you for that, Mr. Lux. I'm excited, and it was all by accident. Those are the best, I think. And I have fun
without
with
a
it.
doubt, without a doubt. And at the end of the day, would you rather do candy or veggies? Probably
okay. So,
but I don't know. Some of your fruits, the banana, freeze-dried banana.
So can I hold this conversation? We'll put this on a back burner for right now until next week.
Okay.
I'm going to bring you something that I freeze-dried this week.
Okay.
And it's fruit, and it has to be my best freeze-dried thing ever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Better than the peanut brittle?
Better than the peanut brittle. I mean, it's on a different spectrum, but I would take this over the peanut brittle any day.
Really?
And the peanut brittle is amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah.
But so next week,
I'd have put on 10 pounds.
I don't know. If you eat this, we're probably still going to put on 10 pounds because it's like, oh, wow, that's good.
Right.
That's what, we'll talk later.
All right.
Lux said he would pick candy any day. You know what's so weird, though, is I don't eat the candy. When we do bananas and stuff, I'll save out a little dish for me, and I'll pop bananas and
right.
any of the other fruits. But as far as the candy, most of the time, I taste the initial ones that I run.
Right.
And usually, and I don't create anything, so I don't want to take away from people that have created this stuff.
Right.
Some of the stuff I've come up with, like the sour pink crunchies.
Right.
Those are me. But some of this other stuff I didn't. And the recipe for the peanut brittle is somebody else's recipe. It was not a freeze dried.
Right.
They did theirs whole, so I added the freeze dried part. But I think that he said I may laugh, but dispensaries would buy my candy. A million people have asked me that already. Have you put stuff in it yet? Is it medicated or not? I had one lady cancel her order, and you'll like this, Lux. She canceled her order. At one time, we had a special. It was 4 bags for $20.
Right.
And she canceled her 4 bags because she realized it did not have THC in it. I'm like, man, I don't know what else you smoking.
Right.
But if I was selling 4-ounce bags of candy for $20 and it had THC in it, I'm the worst business. Yeah, I'm the worst businessman ever.
Nobody's in business to lose money.
Yeah, I'm the worst businessman ever. And as they start legalizing it here in Virginia, I may go that route. There's a better way to make money, and I'm sure that it would be a heck of a lot tastier.
Right.
But at this time, because it's illegal in Virginia, I'm not allowed to do that and sell it.
Right. Not in that.
In that arena.
Form.
Yeah. Now I do know at the Dr. Pepper Park they do have a hemp vendor. I think it's Blue Mountain.
Gotcha.
Hemp or something. I'll look it up. I'll know more next week. But they sell their products at the Dr. Pepper Park too.
Okay.
And so they have some lotions. I think they have some edibles, and I think that like the Delta 8s and the 9s, and I don't know anything about those things. I think they're synthetic.
Right.
But I think some of their products has that in it because you don't need a prescription for all that.
Right.
But I don't know. But yeah. So next week I'm going to change your mind on the candy.
Okay.
So,
I mean, and again, that the freeze dried banana, man, that's hard to beat in and of itself.
Yep.
But that peanut brittle, I was just like, oh crap.
Yeah. So we have the peanut brittle. We have it without the cayenne and then with the cayenne.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest. The one without the cayenne is good, but the one with the cayenne is it's the whole package.
It's the right type of difference.
Right. The only thing it's missing is sour, and I don't know that the sour would go good with the heat.
Well, see, and I'm not a sour guy, so I mean that is just
so next week, and so we're gonna change your mind on that. Okay. You got anything left for us?
Not that I can not that I can think of.
Awesome. Me either. Thank you for joining us. We are going through some different times nowadays
without a doubt
in all communities. So we appreciate everybody taking the time to watch us and watch us as we grow, because we've gone from, crappy settings to this setting to Do the settings even
I actually
matter?
had a memory come across Facebook this morning
When we were
about
up
a
at the
year,
bubble?
where a year ago we were still setting up the bubble.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so here we are, 33 episodes in, and hopefully we're giving some good information and
Let's hope.
and keeping it unbiased as much as possible.
Well, I mean, Lux, Gus, and Mary seem to stick with us.
They're the superstars.
Absolutely. And I haven't seen Emily come across, but she's usually a pretty good mainstay.
Emily she broke her phone.
What?
Yeah, she broke her phone, so she's computer only.
She ain't throwing it
And probably, but she broke her phone, and so she's trying to get a new one now.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So I got that story today.
Okay. Gotcha.
So when I was in Florida, I ran up to see their house. So they've taken a old abandoned house and kind of fixed it up and put a roof on it.
Right.
And so they're in the process of remodeling it. So
Okay.
It looks nice. And they got 5 acres of land where they had 2 acres, but it was in this busy corner.
Right.
And so everything they did, people knew. And so when you have a homestead, you're going to kill your chickens because you got meat chickens.
Right.
You're going to raise pigs and kill them. Well, a couple times they were processing pigs, and every time it rained, they got animal control called. The pigs are in the mud.
Right.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
What, pigs were doing pig stuff?
Yeah, and so, but they would get animal control called. They're skinning a cat in the yard or skinning a dog or whatever, and it's just and there's no ordinances against that.
Right.
I know that I'm not allowed to process a chicken outside.
Right.
In Roanoke County.
Right.
I'm not allowed to have roosters. I'm not allowed to process the chickens outside.
Right.
I have a privacy fence, so I'm pretty sure I could process the chickens without my neighbors really knowing.
Right.
The one up the hill, she could see into our backyard, but she used to live on a chicken farm.
Right.
So I don't know that she would say much. And then the ones over here can't see.
If I get 2 chickens, I won't call nobody.
Right. Absolutely. But, we appreciate you staying and watching the Peaks and Valleys, and hope to see you back next week. Until then, be safe.
Make good choices.
And